You may have noticed things are changing up here a little bit, just like Roccat. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety of WookiE XXXL, and I'm going to start with the elephant in the room, or in this case, the Turbo Tortoise in the room. We're busy with the rebrand. Some other things are going to be changing soon across the channels and all of that kind of goodly stuff. And there's a competition in the wings sponsored by Roccat as well, which is probably going to be launched soon TM, probably today or tomorrow. So watch out for that as well. There's a lot of really cool things happening over here at Turbo Tortoise Tech, powered by Uncle Evetech. There we go. The ones over there. Over your heart, that logo placement is not an accident. Let's just put it that way. But into today's review. I have been playing with this for about a week now, and actually it's like disgustingly good value for money. Everything that you're getting here with the Roccat torch, as they're calling it. It's quite an apt name because it's about the same size as the torch, which is pretty much the only detracting thing is the size of the actual microphone body. But believe it or not, there are actually two audio capsules inside of this unit, which gives it a couple of little tricks and stuff up its sleeve and fleshes out its feature set in a way that I've actually not seen with a mic like this. I actually owned a Razer Naga Siren, one of the first ones that ever came out. I got it on a disgusting deal, an open box deal for like a whole 500 Rand. And that was pretty good, and it had a couple of pickup patterns and everything was on the mic, and it was, well, kind of large and cumbersome, and now everything is getting smaller and smaller. And to that extent, everything that's been packed in here, it's like a mini PC but on steroids. This is like the Intel NUC of microphones, basically, that I've seen here, because this base piece is actually a DAC. But before we get too carried away, let me go through the package content so you can see everything that you get. So, starting off with the DAC that you get basically like this, with the microphone attached to it. Cabling is not automatic. You do have to use this tiny little USB Type-C patch cable from the back over here into the back of the microphone. Then next to that is the PC cable, which is another Type-C cable, which then just peters off in a USB Type-A, which you then connect to your computer. You will be needing USB 3.0 because this device does require quite a lot of juice to get going. Then they do give you another viciously long USB Type-C to Type-C for the microphone, which is like, yeah, that's right, 1.8 meters. So from the DAC to the mic, you can have a 1.8 meter distance, which is maybe a little bit overkill, but I like overkill. So yes, there's a lot of microphone packages and stuff that come with this sort of setup, but why is this one special? Well, for the princely sum of 100 USD, you get a mic that has two capsules in it with 24-bit audio quality, that has 3 distinct pickup patterns, that has volume for your whatever audio you're using for your output. It has a volume control for that, and it's got a mic mute built into that same button right over there, and you can wave your hand across the top and mute and unmute the microphone over there. So if your DAC is a distance from you, you'll be able to do that. And then the last slide over here, which is very, very satisfying, is a gain for the microphone itself. So I think you're starting to see where all of this value comes in. This thing is disgustingly feature rich. You can do lighting and everything from the back over here as well, and it's got one nice thing that is on the back over here, I must note, is the pass-through for the headphone jack is absolutely fantastic. But the thing that makes this that incredible value are these 3 distinct pickup patterns that it's got, because they've set up so that you can use it for ASMR stuff, and then it's got a normal cardioid pickup pattern, and then it's got a whisper pattern. So if you are someone that streams late into the evening and has other people sleeping in the house, you don't need to shout at the microphone to be able to get a clear sounding voice from it. You can speak in a very low register like this, or go very, very quiet, and it will work seamlessly. It sounds like a normal setup with the microphone. So you kind of have 3 products all in one with this system, and it's just, did I mention it's 100 USD? That's like 1,500 Rand locally, with ANC tax considered probably 1617. So that's still a very, very good price for something that's this feature rich. But before we go any further, I'm now going to jump over to the PC and show you those 3 distinct pickup patterns and how they work. Alrighty, so this is me here with the torch in front of me. It is sitting on the desk right in front of me like this, okay? So I have it now at maximum gain on the microphone, maximum volume in Windows, and then in the default pickup pattern. And what you're seeing here in front of you is a program called Audacity. If you don't know about Audacity, this thing's super sick. Now I'm going to leave this recording in the background so that you can see the waveform as I'm speaking. This is one of the things I like about Audacity, and then you can pause and cut out bits and pieces. But if you were to sit with this in front of you on the desk, basically right in front of you, if you were just gaming and you had the mic set up, this is exactly what it would then sound like. This is completely raw, by the way. There's absolutely no audio processors or anything into OBS. It's just going straight into OBS. So this is, like I said, this is the default pickup pattern. Now you'll notice as I switch it into what they like whisper mode is, as I speak normally with this, you'll notice how much louder it is. But if I then speak softly, if I'm just in an intense gaming session at night and I'm busy speaking to you like this, you can see it'll pick up even though I'm speaking in a lower register. Then finally, we have the dual stereo or the ASMR mode. Now this is going to pick up differently based on my positioning above and below the microphone. I don't want to get too high up there, but what I'm going to do is just pick it up and move it across my face like this so that you can hear from different and stereo and stuff, and you can actually see the VU meters in Audacity peaking for the different diaphragms as I get closer or further away from them, which is kind of sick that it has the capability to do that. But back to the default mode. So you can see the general pickup patterns and stuff are pretty damn good. The way that it picks up audio is pretty nice. The echo that you're hearing is a consequence of my place. I need to get a little bit of sound dampening. But now what I'm going to do is actually switch over to this guy over here, and then we're going to put it through the Nvidia Broadcast. Now the Nvidia Broadcast is going to do quite a lot of cleanup to the audio in general, especially once I change it over here in OBS. Let me just get that done. There we go. Okay, now I'm on Nvidia Broadcast. Now the microphone gets taken up a level, and also if you don't know about Nvidia Broadcast, through your RTX graphics cards, you can see it's sparking on Audacity, but it didn't wreck you. That's something that Nvidia Broadcast does for you. I use it extensively, as you can see, for my camera and all kinds of things. It's an insane piece of software, especially if you're in streaming. So if you're looking at this for streaming, which is what I would assume you'd be looking at it for, then you'll be able to do that. Now it's got 2 mutes on it as well, which I'm going to demonstrate. Well, and the volume slider. So the volume slider, as you can see, it activates system volume. So it doesn't matter what you're outputting to, whether it's speakers or whether it's a headset or whatever the case is, you can adjust the output of that volume directly from the DAC, which is absolutely fantastic. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to then demonstrate those mutes for you. So on the top over here, if I push this button, moving and nothing was coming out, you're just seeing my mouth moving, as I've just said again, so that you can read my lips to double check on what I'm saying. But over the top as well, so when your setup is on the boom arm, like a boom arm like this for instance, okay, so when you're sitting on the boom arm over here and the mic's sitting over here, you could just swipe in front of it and then you'll be able to mute and unmute like from the mic without having to touch the deck. Like Roccat, you're pretty sick. Anyway, back to the studio. Now, something I failed to mention until this point as well is the software is basically not needed. You can do absolutely everything you need from the device, completely plug and play. You don't have to have Swarm or anything else like that running in order to use the mic to its full potential. You might want to do that if you're using AMO or RGB on the microphone. The default profile and stuff is such that the 3 pickup modes have 3 distinct different colors on them, so you won't flummox yourself there. The mic mute and the live little LED at the front of the microphone, absolutely fantastic. And having that on your table, like within iShot, you can see if you're live or muted or not, and then having the capability to wave your hand and mute and unmute the microphone is pretty cool. The only thing with that is, like with my boom, it sits horizontal. So every time I pick my arm up and put it back down, it would mute and unmute the microphone. I actually caught myself out on that with that recording that I did for the weekly specials. I had to re-record just a few times because I was catching myself out with that. By that extension of what I've just said as well, it obviously can attach to other boom arms and stuff, and that's why they give you the longer cable. Like big brain from Roccat. If you're using it in this mode, I would assume that you don't have a boom or your desk doesn't really have the space and you just want it to sit in front of you. Then at least with this, you can tilt it so that you can get it accurately, and then it does screw in from the bottom as well. So if you want to align it left or right or something like that, then you can do that as well. Final thoughts on this thing then, it's sick. Bang for buck wise, you will not find something this feature rich at 100 USD, that you can change your volume on, that you can change your mic gain on, that you can change your pickup pattern on automatically, that has a sensor based muting system, that has a built-in LED at the front that tells you when you're live. And by the way, you'll notice right now it's not on live. That is because it is not live. It is actually not running through a chat app like a Discord or onto your stream through OBS. It knows that. Its brain is that clever that it knows when you're actually live or not. Roccat, you're continuously impressing me. A lot of people have lost faith in your brand, but consider me a fan. Where value is considered right now, your guys' premium is pretty much the best value on the market, and this is no different to that. I will be suggesting this continuously for homies who are on streaming setups, who are looking for something that's plug and play, super easy to use and hassle free. You don't even need a boom arm. You can go to your local Cash Crusaders and buy one for like 250 bucks anyway, and then hook it up with this extra long USB Type-C cable. You clever. Roccat, this is clever. It's another great product. Solid 10 out of 10. At the price point, maybe even an 11 out of 10. Anyway, that's all I have for you in this review. If you have enjoyed it, then please hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. You may have noticed that